Yo, everyone. We are back. We are back with the second slate of tournament RTA matches for you. Round 1. We are still at that only being able to use two Nat 5s in your match for this round 1 action. How are you feeling about that, Mr. Warlock, my man?
Man, I'm stoked. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have everyone here. It sounds like we got a lot of matches coming tonight, so I'm ready to get right into it.
Absolutely. So it looks as though we have anywhere between 4 to 6 matches on schedule tonight. We're still waiting on a couple of individuals to show up, but we are guaranteed to have 4 solid matches tonight. So if you are here for the very first time, we're just going to do a quick breeze through of the rules, show the current bracket and who the action that took place earlier. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Here are the current rules at the moment. Go ahead and take it away, Mr. Warlock, my man.
All right, so for the first round, which is the round you guys are going to be watching tonight, 4 to 6 more matches from this round, we've got a restriction on the Nat 5s you can use. You can use up to 2. This restriction extends across all Nat 5s, fusions, ifrits, and everything, so no more than 2 of them.
Absolutely, and then if you're lucky enough to make it out of that first round, round 2 is no more than 3 attributes. So if you start off with fire, wind, dark, you are locked in with those attributes. So make sure you stay focused on the 3 that you want to use. Round 3.
In round 3, we are having no passive labeled skills involved. So active skills with passive effects, such as the Kung Fu Girls and Barbaric Kings, those will be okay. But anything that's labeled as a passive, such as Perna, Theomars, P-Sama, Juno, anything like that is not going to be allowed.
Exactly. Round 4 are going to be no active leader skills. So again, we had some issues before the tournament started, but it's been cleared up. But just to make sure we understand, you can bring in units like Samath and Ciara, that's fine. You just cannot select their leader skill to go into the battle with. So you want to make sure that you have at least 2 units that do not have active leader skills that you can use in the match, so that if one of them gets banned out, you still have another backup that you can use that does not have an active leader skill. And then for the finals, we have no restrictions at all. You can go ahead and use whatever you want at that point. If you have done your job to jump through all the hoops to get to the finals, you are there and you have your opportunity to win at your very best teams that you think you need to win that victory. Am I right, Warlock?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then just real quick, if you violate one of these rules during that specific round, you will have 1 mulligan to go ahead and stop the match before it starts. Re-pick, but you have to pick the same units that you were using up until that unit that you picked that violated the rule. So if we do run across that, we will address it. Again, you get 1 redo, 1 mulligan. If you do it again in that same round, you are disqualified and forfeit the match. Now, if you do mess up in one of those rounds once and you're okay the second time and then you end up winning, it does not carry over to the next round. So basically, every round, because there are restrictions, you have 1 opportunity to mess up. If you need it, hopefully everybody is well versed on what the rules are at this point, so hopefully we understand. But you never know. It could happen, right, Warlock?
Oh yeah, anything can happen. This is Summoner's War.
Exactly. So again, this first round is only 2 Nat 5s. So we've seen some interesting units on schedule right now to fight. First up is going to be Doom 56 versus SlaySun. Doom is one of those individuals that I do not know too much about them, because they contacted me via Line, the Line app. And then SlaySun, I'm not too sure about either. He kind of was brought in by a friend that told him about the tournament, and also that friend is in the tournament. So we're going to take you right now into the action without any further ado. I was going to get to the brackets, but you know what? We ain't got time for that. We got to get right into this action. So SlaySun is able to get that first pick.
Looks like, oh,
Wow.
interesting. A Molly first
right
pick.
off the bat with a Molly. Big pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Doom decides to counteract that with a Raccoony and a Frigate. Trying to get that first move. Am I right, Warlock?
Definitely. I'm curious to see what Slay's going to follow with now. Another light unit, another light Nat 4. Tosi and then Chloe. So he hasn't used any Nat 5s yet at all. So if he has them, that's still going to be available. But it also looks like he's trying to counter that first turn with the Chloe there.
You know what I think SlaySun is doing here, which I think could catch on in this round? You pick your Nat 5s last so that they don't know what you're going to be bringing as far as Nat 5s.
Right,
I think that could be a strategy that could work. But, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Big pick right there. But I do like Doom's picks of Charlotte and Liebly. Interesting units. Liebly with the bomb. Charlotte can, reduce attack bar. So that could play a role right there.
Well, it looks like you nailed it. They definitely chose their Nat 5s last.
Yes. Yes, pretty much. Yes. So, interesting fight. These are some big boy teams. I must say,
definitely.
even though there's only 2 Nat 5s each, these are some big unit teams right here. What do you think? What do you think we're gonna see here?
I think we're going to see, I think it's going to be really back and forth, but I think it's really going to depend on first turn if that Chloe's going to be fast enough to go before Raccoony, and if that does happen and the invincibility goes, then there's going to be a lot of damage coming from that side for sure.
Absolutely. So it looks like you nailed it on the head right there. Chloe does get the Fanatic, but
then there's
with
the
full strip right there.
Wow.
Big turn of event right there. Do you think they understood about Praha's ability to turn that when they picked Chloe?
I believe Praha was picked a little bit later in the match after Chloe, so I think Praha was actually chosen to do just that, to take the Chloe buffs away.
So do you think if you were on that side, you would have banned Praha then to try to counteract that?
Yes. If it were me personally, Praha is also a very heavy source of sustain on top of being able to completely counter the third skill of one of the units that I chose. So I would have, and it looks like
we had a quit out right there. A quick match right there. Doom doing a good job of getting that victory right there. Really laid it heavy on right there with that victory. So we're gonna go straight in as soon as they get the second battle up and running. Remember, this first round is best 2 out of 3. So SlaySun definitely has a chance to keep it going. Don't you agree?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We saw just from the pick and ban phase of that last match that they are definitely they all have some interesting units and teams here. So we could see them definitely mix it up here, and it looks like they do with the Grego here.
Yes, so Grego comes out. So SlaySun mixing it up a little bit, trying to see what he can do, what they can do right here to stay alive. SlaySun needs to pick up this victory to try to force a match 3. If he doesn't, Doom is on his way up to the next round right off the bat. So SlaySun makes a play right here and takes away that Praha, which we've seen work for Devil's Reaper and Iron True in a previous match earlier today, taking the unit that person used. So this might bode well for SlaySun. We will see though. I'm not seeing too much damage though coming from SlaySun's side, unless depending on how the Grego is built. Liebly's got the bombs and can hit hard. But interesting picks right here.
I'm curious to see what Doom has to answer to those last 2 picks from Slay. Verd. Oh wow.
This is definitely a first of a Vertihill sighting right here.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen Verd in RTA in a while, and it looks like with the double OG2 Annabelle is going to get through.
So interesting on both sides. Depending on how that Grego is built, I don't see too much damage coming from either side. This is more of a CC sustain team on both sides, it seems like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big battle of procs in terms of the abilities, and then what Orion's able to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting play to see how, because with the Orion Raccoony, you know that you have a pretty fast team, and then of course that Verd is going to continue to buff up the attack bar. So, you know, just looking to get multiple turns looks like is the play here.
Right.
Wow, Praha with the 3-person stun right there.
Yeah, that stun really hurts.
So it looks like they're going to try to knock out that Vertiheel first. Which might be smart because that takes away the attack bar booster over time. Obviously, Orion has the Harmless Prank that buffs up attack bar. Rakuni can buff up fully, kind of like a resurge of Konamiya with the speed buff. But Vertiheel is really key in terms of consistent attack bar boost. So if you can take that person out, that Vertiheel with the attack bar, that might play big right now for SlaySun.
There's so much to sustain on both sides that I really think this is going to just be kind of ping pong for a little while until...
That's exactly what I was saying before the match started. That was kind of my idea, is that the sustain and the CC, this might be a long battle. But remember, the way RTA works, as time keeps continuing, attack goes up, HP goes down. So it's going to be who can hit the hardest at that point and who has the most sustain. And in my opinion, if I had to look at these teams and evaluate, I would say that SlaySun up top probably has a little bit of advantage because you have the Praha that can heal a lot, and then you have the Eladriel that can not only heal a big chunk but can also revive.
Right. I would say...
Who would you say have the advantage right now?
I would say, I mean, it's tough to call because as much sustain as Slay does have, Doom has so much attack bar boost, and then with Rakuni, you know, Verd gives 40% every turn, Orion has 30%, and he can proc on his first turn to chain that into more attack bar increase, and then Rakuni can instantly give his turn to someone else, so he can keep Annabelle's heal up almost as much as he needs it. So I feel like the sustain is pretty balanced as far as both sides go.
Very true. So on Slay side, you have the mass amounts of heals and revives. But on Doom side, you have a bunch of attack bar boosts. So basically, it's a battle of, can I last long enough to outlast that attack bar boost? And on Doom side, it's, can I do enough damage quick enough to not allow those heals to come out?
Right.
So that I knew right from jump when these teams were picked that this was going to be a long battle. You could tell right away that, okay, these individuals are not looking to nuke anything. This is going to be a who can outlast who battle right here.
And you know, even if Doom is able to get this Eladriel out of there, the passive of Grego is going to come into effect. And I'm not entirely positive on how it works, but I know that as he becomes the only monster there, you know, he will, like, as his allies die, he will definitely become stronger. I think he gains more. I think it's more damage that he gains.
Yes.
As his allies become.
Yes.
So that was a smart pick for a match like this.
Yes, definitely. So with that heal block on Eladriel, that could be Doom's chance to get this healer out of here, this revival.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's going to happen right there. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. That is the drop of Eladriel. And the clutch sleep right now. Annabelle is going bananas right now.
Wow.
So I don't know how this is going to end. It's looking heavily in favor of Doom right now as he has all his HP full up on all his monsters for the most part. All the healers on Slay side. And there goes your damage with Grego. Yeah. So... interesting pick of Vertiheel, but it seems to work out for him, right?
Yeah, no. As the match went on, he was able to just keep boosting the attack bar, get Annabelle more turns, and you know Annabelle has the chance to proc on her first skill. So Annabelle was able to keep her heal up, keep all those boosters alive, and he ended up just outlasting all of the sustain that Slay had.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Doom for moving on. SlaySun, thank you for participating. It was a good fight. That second fight really lasted a long time, was not going down without a fight. Just with all that attack bar boost, I just think it was in favor of Doom because, you know, yeah, you can keep healing on the side, of Slay, but at some point, when the HP starts lowering and attacks start going higher, that HP is going to run out eventually.
Right.
So now the next match on deck is going to be IrvingKyrie versus xWigglesx. Now I do know that we know IrvingKyrie, or I'm sorry, rewind. We know xWigglesx. That is also known as Dasini1, who is a streamer as well. And we do kind of know his units. So IrvingKyrie is another one of those that came along with Doom that we don't know who he has. So he leads off with that Bastet. So that's one of his Nat 5s already gone right there.
Right out the gates, yeah.
Not playing any
taking
games.
a minute.
Yes, so xWigglesx is taking his time trying to analyze what he wants to do, and it looks like he's going with a defensive pick. Could we see a copper in this? Do you think we can see a copper and maybe Olivia?
I think it's possible, yeah. Depending on what Irving picks here, Wiggles might actually go for just a defense scaling cleave, and that would be very interesting to see so early too.
Yes, and that would be the first time we see this in this tournament so far.
Oh yeah.
So interesting picks here with Chilling. I do like Chilling a lot in RTA. The one thing about Chilling is it takes a lot to build him well. And Wiggles comes out the gate swinging with the Molong and the Ganny pick.
Solid 2 Nat 5s.
Was not expecting that at all.
Wow, yeah.
So
following
IrvingKyrie, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna just say, following the Emesity Bulldozer, Molong and Ganymede is a completely different direction than I think most people would expect that team to go.
Absolutely. I was expecting like Olivia, Copper, something along those lines, but completely left field with this one. But hey, if it works, if you feel like your monsters are tuned up right, I mean, this actually puts a big pressure, I think, on IrvingKyrie, because who do you ban? If you let Bulldozer through, he could one-shot one unit right off the bat.
Yeah, he goes for Ganymede. I don't know. That Bulldozer is going to be tough to take down.
Yes.
I almost would have gone for maybe either the Emesity or the Bulldozer, get rid of the defense buff, or just take Bulldozer out all the way.
Absolutely. I was going to say, honestly, if it was me, I probably would have thought about banning out that Emesity just to take away that defense buff. You don't understand how hard that's going to hit if he gets that turn off.
Yeah, so it's going to come down to Chilling being able to get rid of that buff before Bulldozer's able to use it.
Unfortunately, though, Chilling goes before that combo, so something is more than likely about to get wiped right off the bat.
Yeah,
and here it comes. The shout goes to Bulldozer. He's going to take out the Wind Barbaric King, and that is a dead Barbaric King. So right out the gate, it is already 4v3.
Wow. Then we got Molong unable to strip anything, unfortunately.
But does get the stun on the Bastet. So that takes away the ability on IrvingKyrie's side to defense break, glance, heal block, do all those debuffs for at least one turn. So we might see another big skill coming from here from Molong if Chasun, because Molong's got a lot of health. So does Dasini or does Wiggles think that that's enough? That was a big hit right there. That might have saved his life right there.
Yeah, that reduces Molong's ability to nuke drastically. Now Chasun's got to get him back up before he can do that. So
absolutely, that was a huge move right there. Huge move.
A lot of clutch procs from Chasun too, keeping the cooldowns low here. Absolutely. So Bastet's going. It looks like IrvingKyrie is going to focus on trying to take out that Bulldozer, which might be the smart thing. You're trying to take out both Bulldozer and Molong at the same time. I would almost argue, though, try to focus on one because that could happen right there. Yep. You got to really focus on one. If you keep flip-flopping back and forth, you see that Wiggles has Chasun sitting there healing. So if you're going back and forth between two different units in RTA, it could bode bad, especially if that opponent has a healer like Chasun on their side. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I think that with the presence of Chasun there, you're pretty much forced to focus Mo Long because Bulldozer is going to nuke the same no matter where his health is at. But if you can keep Mo Long low enough, then you're able to reduce the amount he's able to put out as damage pretty substantially. But by splitting up the focus there, that leaves Mo Long in that window where he could do what he did to Bastet, and then you see how that plays out.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly. I do like the fact that instead of quitting out when Irving felt like probably it was already over, he went ahead and kept fighting to give him that opportunity to think about, okay, what can I do next now? That clearly didn't work. Let's go with something else. So we jump right into the second match. IrvingKyrie gets the first move again and still decides to go with that Bastet. I'm imagining that's probably one of his go-to units. What do you think about that first Bastet move?
I think Bastet's a solid first pick. It really depends on if your opponent follows up with more attack bar boost, you do have to change your team a lot though to try and find a way to get Bastet to go first, because oftentimes boosters like Bernard and Orion, well, it looks like he took Bernard here, but sometimes boosters could be runed up to be a bit quicker than Bastet, depending on if Irving has Bastet runed up as a primary booster or not.
Exactly. So it looks as though IrvingKyrie decided to still bring the same two Nat 5s that they are allowed. So if anyone is here for the first time, just run through of this first round. You are only allowed to pick 2 Nat 5s at most on your team for this first round matchup. So it looks as though IrvingKyrie already chose his 2 Nat 5s with Bastet and Samath. Wiggles the last round banned Samath. So now you have to look for something else. You know that you just got beat with these same 3 units, even though he banned Samath. Bastet and Bernard didn't work out for you, so you need these last 2 picks to be big, and that's a big move right there. That is a big boy move. You bring Lucian, that scares anyone. Am I right, Warlock?
Oh, absolutely. We've already seen firsthand in this tournament what Lucian can do, even when he's picked later. Depending on what Wiggles brings here, he might be forced to ban that Lucian.
Well, see, so here's the thing though. If Wiggles, which I would imagine would ban that Lucian, if you ban that Lucian now, your only damage dealer is Samath now, with 3 attack bar boosters. So I've seen some Samaths, I'm sure you have too, that hit really, really hard.
Oh yeah.
So maybe he knows his Samath can do it, possibly, but I don't know. So Irving decides to ban out that Bulldozer. If Wiggles is able to get the victory here, Wiggles will move on to the second round and knock out IrvingKyrie. If IrvingKyrie can force a game 3 or win this match, then he will force a match 3, and they'll battle it out again. How do you foreshadow this match going?
I think that unless PSOM is really able to output a lot of damage, it may not be enough because of the lack of the sustain on the side of IrvingKyrie, whereas you have the Praha to keep healing up, and then the defense buff from Amesity that's still there, even without the Bulldozer and stuff. Amesity does have his role still.
And that Samath did not hit very hard. I'm not sure if that Samath is built for HP, but if he is, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough damage output to win. But looking at Wiggles' side as well, unless this Arya hits hard, which I have seen some Aryas hit hard, this might be another one of those slow, grinding out kind of matches.
Yeah, absolutely. You have defense buff on both sides, so the only thing that, in terms of a matchup like that Wiggles really has going for him is the sustain from Praha. That is going to play a big role. Once Pisama goes down the first time and comes back, he's not going to have a whole lot of health. There's no one there to heal him, only the shield from Bastet.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Once he comes back, he's going to do his nuke skill, of course. But we already seen it doesn't hit too tremendously hard. So can it do enough to try to put a dent in xWigglesx's team? That's the question. And there goes Samath. Oh wow, yes. Ganymede resets Samath.
The reset.
So there's not even a comeback. Wow, great play by Wiggles. That was an amazing setup right there. You look at this team of Amesity, Ganymede, Praha, Arya, and you're like, I don't see too much damage. I'm not sure how this is going to work. But this team actually worked very well.
Yeah, without the sustain, the continuous damage from Praha was able to keep him consistently going down. And then she has her heal, too, to keep his team up.
Yes,
very well played.
Absolutely.
Very well played.
Absolutely. Amazing match right there. So xWigglesx moves on to the second round, which I'm sure he's very excited for. Thank you, IrvingKyrie, for participating. Unfortunately, the chips just didn't fall or crumble, however you want to put the phrase. They didn't fall your way. But better luck next time. I'm sure me and Warlock will be hosting more tournaments. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. There will be more. There will be more.
Absolutely. So, we are going into the next matchup right here for our first round of the RTA tournament. This one is between Shoezilla and KrisReina. Both of them very excited to be in this tournament, both of which I don't know much about as far as their account. So I'm very interested to see what kind of units they bring out. What do you think? What do you think about so far with these two individuals going at it? Interesting. I'm sorry. I have to stop it on that one. We just had a driller pulled out. I have not seen a driller ever. I can actually say ever in RTA. That is an interesting pick. What do you think about that, Warlock?
Follow it up. I think Driller, I don't know what he can do in RTA. As you know, as you said, I've never seen him used in RTA. Definitely some solid nat 5s though on the side of Chris there. Shoezilla though has the Orion and then the Izaria. I believe that is the name of the water succubus with the 24% speed lead.
Yes.
2 speed leads actually on the side of Shoezilla because Gemini's got the 19% too. And then a Charlotte Lagmaron. Wow.
Big picks, right? Now, would you, if you were KrisReina, would you go with a fire unit right here to try to combat that Lagmaron Charlotte?
I would. I would try to take some sort of fire interrupter and then try to get out that Orion, I believe.
But decides to pull out a Bella. Now, I will say, okay, so second guessing that Bella pick. I will say, however, that Driller, I have a Driller built as well. Driller can be a very interesting unit that can stun you like crazy. So maybe he could be going, KrisReina could be going for a CC kind of control. Obviously, with that Hathor pick, you're trying to see maybe, you know, maybe if I can sleep everyone for a full 2 turns, everyone else can fight and kill off a unit one by one.
Absolutely. And if you do stun, you know, one of the units that's sleeping, you can attack them without waking anyone else up and they'll still be under CC too.
Exactly. Very, very good point. Very good point. So KrisReina decides to go with the Hathor lead with resistance, and then we also have KrisReina going with the water succubus speed lead. So you already know out the back that KrisReina is going to get that first, or I'm sorry, I'm switching them around. Shoezilla is going to get that first move. More than likely, I would imagine, with the speed lead. Yes, so Gemini goes first.
Gets a defense break on everyone with Charlotte following up and no will rune, so it looks like there's going to be a lot of attack bar reduction going on right here.
Yes, that is a lot of CC, and then Squall comes out and takes that Driller out. I don't know how this Lagmaron is built, but Lagmaron can hit on Squall for 80,000+ if built the right way. That Squall move is amazing. So already out the bat, you see that you're at a big disadvantage right now if you're KrisReina. You're hoping that Camilla can out-tank a win Lagmaron and a win Charlotte. That's a lot to ask of Camilla, especially with the nerf to how many times she can violent proc and heal herself. And so that's going to play a big role. Gemini decides, I'm going crazy, and I'm going to just go and go and go.
Wow.
So we have a quit out right there. So KrisReina drops the first one. Shoezilla gets that first victory. Again, I'm not sure about the quit outs. What do you think about that?
You know, I think that even if you know you're done, if it's not your last match, if you've got another match coming, it is, you know, there is a little bit of time there you can take to think, because you want to see if your opponent beat you, there's a good chance they may take, if not the same comp, at least a similar comp. So you got to kind of look at what they've got there and prepare yourself for what you're going to be going against. So personally, if it were at the end of a match like that, I would always try to let it time out, just hit that auto or whatever.
Exactly. I'm in the same boat with you, man. If especially in a tournament where it's a 2 out of 3, you know you're gonna lose that first match. Wait it out. Just go ahead and see what happens so that it gives you time to go ahead and think about what it is can I do to change it up to allow myself to get this victory, because if you don't win this match, it's over.
Right.
So again with the driller pick.
Another driller, yeah. This time though paired with different units.
Are my eyes deceiving me, or is that the light fairy king right there?
Oh, you know what? That might be an Oberon.
I was gonna say, is that Oberon? Because
they look fairly similar.
The coloring might be a little crazy, but if that's Oberon, OMG.
Yeah, we've seen a light Nat 5, but it was the dragon, and it wasn't under the same circumstances. So this will be. Oh, it is. That is shiny. Wow. Interesting
pick right there. Big pick. So with that light fairy king Oberon, that is an interesting unit. That's one of those game changing units right there.
And then the Konamiya alongside him with the resurge.
Absolutely. Give Oberon another attack. Plus you buff up the attack buff so he's hitting harder. So this is going to be a hard match for KrisReina to win. And especially with that water succubus throwing around sleeps like it's easy.
Yeah.
That's devastating right there.
Able to hit the units that are asleep too, so they aren't even safe from being damaged while they're sleeping.
Hathor does get off the full team sleep though. So this is your opportunity. Decides to go for Oberon. What do you think about that move to go for Oberon first?
I think that it is smart to go for Oberon. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stun him. That would have been really clutch because he would have been able to keep the damage on them and have the whole team see Steed. But it looks like now with the collapse and the defense break, that will be enough to take out Oberon.
Nice.
So that's a huge loss to the damage here. This definitely is going a little bit better, I think, this time than it was last. I'm interested to see if Kris can last it out. Driller's still at full health. Rakan's there with the immunity on at half health, but he will have that collapse up.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that Driller is actually on Despair, because we haven't seen a stun from him yet, which his move actually stuns automatically on his first move. So if he's on Despair, you would think that he has a high opportunity to stun. But he hasn't gotten a stun yet, so maybe he's not on Despair. Maybe he's on a full guard build to try to get more power. But it does look as though there's the stun. As soon as I say it, he goes ahead and gets the stun.
Right when he really needs to. Wow.
Absolutely. So, heavily in favorite right now for KrisReina to pull this victory out, as we see there is no damage on the side of Shoezilla. But
and then the procs from Rakan too.
Absolutely, but the clutch stun right there from Konamiya. Clutch stun. So you have both Driller and Rakan stunned at the moment. Can you do enough to stay in this match is the question.
Defense.
You know you have a lot of speed. If you can take out that Rakan, this could be big right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Rakan's down, so it's going to come down to Darian and Driller. A 2 against 2.
That is devastating right there. Orion drops.
Yeah. I don't know if Konamiya can. Those 2 tanky units right there, and one of them is giving the other one even more tankiness. So I'm not sure if Konamiya is going to be able to do this.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it, but I do like the fact that he's taking his time thinking about it. He now quits out, but that was a big match for KrisReina to stay in the tournament.
Pushing it to the 3rd match.
Exactly. So we have a match 3 coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Match 3, best 2 out of 3. I am super excited. And you know what? We're not even going to waste time. Let's jump right back into it. That was such an amazing match. Congrats to KrisReina for forcing that match 3. Here we go. So KrisReina stays with that Rakan Hathor combo right there.
Yeah, he's going with what worked for him last time. Similar picks so far on each side. There's the Azaria again for Shoezilla.
So what, on both sides now, you both have a victory. You both have a loss. So now what can you do differently to pull out this last victory? Interesting pick to pick Charlotte. Even though you you reduce attack bar. With that Rakan sitting there, fire. I'm not sure if I would go Charlotte, or am I wrong to say that, War?
No, I do think that's a bit of a risky pick because you never know what Chris is going to follow with. He could follow with another good counter for Charlotte and then allow Charlotte through and really, really counter her. If he doesn't pick something fire and then Shoezilla is able to ban Rakan, then I guess that would be a solid pick. But it really depends on what Chris follows up with. It looks like Chris is going with the same kind of strategy here. And then, a Leica.
Yeah, so this is the first.
Okay,
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. I was going to say. Haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I was just about to say that this is the first Leica sighting we've seen in the RTA tournament, but decides to rethink that.
Oh no, he
says
Oh, there he is. Okay, all right, it is Leica.
He is locked in.
Interesting pick.
Exactly.
Banning the Bernard again.
Exactly.
So it looks like Chris is going to have the same comp. The only real difference here will be you got Leica for Shoezilla. This is going to be interesting, though, because Leica definitely has a little bit more potential for when the matches get a little more brawly like they did towards the end there. Leica does shine there, especially if one or two of his teammates are down.
Very good point. Very good point. And if you're Shoezilla, you know that you're getting this first turn right here with the speed lead and both the Orion Gemini letting through.
Absolutely. So, there's going to be a lot of speed there.
KrisReina is banking on the fact that he has the resistance lead right there with Hathor. So no stuns. And wow, there goes 3 stuns. Maybe I should stop saying stuff because it seems as though I'm jinxing everyone.
Barely. Hathor barely hangs on, gets finished off by Orion. Yikes.
Wow. So Shoezilla comes out the bat and takes out the Hathor, which is the CC sleeper right out the gate. Says, I do not want to deal with that unit again.
That triple stun from that Gemini was madness.
Yes, absolutely clutch. And that's the things you can come to expect from Gemini. I will say that I messed up and fed my Gemini because I wasn't sure what he brought to the table, and now I'm very regretful of that.
Well, they like to give out the HOH monsters. So
that's what I'm hoping for an anniversary. I'm hoping there's an anniversary with Gemini coming back, so I can go ahead and get that.
I'm sure down the road, yeah. We see Leica putting out some pretty impressive numbers too here, even with the full team up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking. This Leica is putting up a lot of damage. And there it is. There it is. We have the quit out, and Shoezilla is going to move on to the second round. Congratulations to Shoezilla. Thank you for participating, KrisReina. That was an amazing fight. What do you think? What do you think about that fight? It went to 3 rounds. How did you like that? What was your standout?
I think it was interesting going into that 3rd round, especially because there were very few differences from that round and the other round. Yet with the same exact team, just a couple little changes that Shoezilla made to his lineup, Leica being one of them, which I'm sure is not something all of us would expect. That made all the difference for him. And then of course the triple stun from Gemini. But still, he was going up against the exact same team. He barely tweaked his team at all, and he was able to take it down. So it just goes to show, anything can happen. And I thought that was an awesome match. Well done to both of those players again for making that go all the way to the 3 rounds. That was a lot of fun.
I agree. I think KrisReina did an amazing job of going ahead and forcing that match 3, changing up the strategy because you seen what Shoezilla did in that first match. So to change it up and be able to adapt to the situation and get that second win to force a match 3 was clutch on his part. I do think that maybe he got used to that team and went ahead and decided, you know what, I won, I'm going to stay with it. But, it just didn't work out in match 3. So we are waiting on the next matchup right now. The next matchup will be ojflores versus Fire81704. I'm not 100% sure about Fire's units, but I do know that ojflores was in my previous RTA tournament that I wrote and did do quite well. I believe was knocked out. If I remember right, I believe he was knocked out in the 2nd round against Shockster, I believe it was. Shockster435, who was also in this tournament. But you never know what's going to happen here, because with these individuals that we haven't seen before, you don't know what they're going to bring to the table. You just don't know.
And we've got the different restrictions this time too, which will allow a little bit more of the players' boxes to be used. Exactly.
It looks as though we are having a little technical difficulty getting ojflores up to the board right now. Yes, it looks as though OJ may have went AFK for a moment, or AF, I don't know, away from iPad, away from tablet, AFT maybe, AFT. We're gonna go with AFT for sure.
Okay. Works.
Let's see what I can do here. Maybe we move on to the next round.
We could just,
or not the next round, the next match. All right, yeah, so we're gonna go to a quick break so that we can get this next match rolling. Stay tuned, stay with us. We will be back when we get all that going. Enjoy some wonderful tunes as we get this rolling. So we are back. We have skipped the match for now. So we move on to Custo 80 versus Shockster 435. I believe I just talked about Shockster 435. He was one from my previous tournament. He did quite well. And he has been telling me that he's gotten even better. But these are some big boy picks right here. Big boy picks. What do you think about these picks so far, War?
I think crazy. I think that on the side of Custo, Armada or Amarna,
Amarna, yes.
Yeah, Amarna. That's in a match where you can't use more than 2 nat 5s. That is a really good monster to pick because his third skill is so overloaded. And then on the side of Shockster, bringing Poseidon and Bastet alongside Lucian with just, I don't know, it's just crazy picks all around. And I'm Sigmaris too. Wow.
So I will say this. On the side of Shockster, I'm a little worried, as I was in the previous round, that if depending on who gets picked, is there enough damage to do what you need them to do? Interesting Sigmaris pick. I honestly would never have guessed. Wait, hold on. That is 3 nat 5s.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You're right.
We have to wait a second. That is 3 nat 5s, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first mess up. Okay, so we are going to get out of here because we have to do some communicating. So we are going to have to end this match and start it over, and we're gonna have to see the same units. Wow, interesting. So they're going to have to quit out of that match. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. We sorry for the technical difficulties. We are live here going through some issues. It looks as though we are up again, ready to go. Please remember that you have to pick the same units up until that last mess up. So the last nat 5 picked was what?
Up before Sigmaris, I believe we saw.
It was. I know Samoth was in there.
There was Samoth and Chow, right?
So
he has to pick Samoth, and then now something else.
So we're fine. So now he just needs to make sure he doesn't pick another nat 5. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Everything is fine.
All right.
we're following the rules now, so we are good. But that was a misplay right there on Custo's part. Do you think that has to do with the fact that he might be nervous?
I think it's very possible it was the last pick too. You know, I was just talking about how Amarna was a good choice when you could only pick 2 Nat 5s. So it's very possible it could have been from nerves, maybe a misunderstanding. Sigmaris's fusion too. You know, I did specify fusion, but that could have been lost in translation. So it could have been a multitude of things.
Very true, very true. So he decides to allow Lucian through, and here comes Amp. How much damage will it do? So it's able to knock out 2, but again, as you stated about Amarna, with that Amarna pick, that's going to nullify that.
If he can get a turn,
oh, very lucky right there.
There it is. There's the team all back.
But remember, with Amarna's revive, for every person that he brings back, every ally, it adds, I believe, 2 more to the cooldown.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it will be increasing. So we won't likely see it. He's not at super high HP, and there is very little sustain. The only sustain actually would be Chow on himself on the side of Custo here. So if Amarna goes down again, there's not going to be any more reviving.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with that.
And it looks like, wow, Pisama down 2.
Yeah, unless that's the $10,000 Chow right there from Fwa, which, wow, maybe it is.
Crits through the glancing debuff. 10 manages to get Camilla out of there. But yeah, he's got to go all in right now if he's gonna. And it looks like with the attack buff back on Lucian, this is gonna be tough. I think that he's might be out for Custo. So right now he's got to start thinking about what he wants to do next. Yeah. If he wants to bring the same Nat 5s, if he wants to, bring maybe Pisama or just Chow and mix the other one up. Absolutely.
So there it is. The first match goes to Shockster435, able to survive that Chow as it went down to 3v1. So what do you expect to see in this second matchup? Do you think Custo has what it takes to force that match 3?
I don't know enough about him, but it looks like he's already jumping in with the Bastet. I think Custo definitely. I think he could definitely try to mix it up here. It looks like what he's trying to do is take take at least one of the units that worked against him just now right off the bat. So I'm anxious to see what he does next. Though we'll probably see him try to mix it up. His last team, he does bring Amarna still.
Let's hope that he does not bring another Nat 5, because if he does, he will get DQ'd. And that will be the first DQ of our RTA tournament. So the 2 Nat 5s on Shockster's side is brothers, Poseidon and Okeanos. What do you think about those picks?
I have both of those guys, and I know they blend really well together, and they don't serve the same role, but they're kind of those types of monsters where if you ban one, you still have a lot of CC coming your way, and it's stun versus attack bar decrease and slow, but it looks like both of those guys are going to get through too.
That could be bad. So not only are you letting through Poseidon, who's going to drop your attack bar, but you're letting through Okeanos, who's going to stun you. So potentially that's 2 turns back to back that you're not going to get.
Yeah,
and then, most times Kabila's going to get that first move, being the fastest base speed in the game.
Right.
At 126.
Oh yeah, this is going to be heavy.
So this is going to be a devastating blow right here.
Wow, a triple stun and then the maelstrom from Poseidon. Wow.
This might be over really fast. He needs to hope for a lot of help right here, and Amarna drops.
Yeah, that's rough because Chasun's stunned and defense broken right now, so it won't take a whole lot more to put her out of the way too. And then there's no more sustain. Pisama's gone too. Wow. It looks like Custo may not have been able to do much against this. Those double Sea Emperors followed by the double attack boosters is that's just devastating. With no will runes, what can you do against all that CC?
I think Shockster435 just let the whole tournament know that he is here to win. He is not playing around.
Oh, no doubt.
So we have Shockster435 moving on to the second round. Big right there. Custo trying his best to stay alive. Unfortunately, wasn't able to force that next match. But you know what? Hats off. Great job. Good try. It happens. Just keep ruining up, keep grinding, and maybe next time you make it through, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we are going to give another shot for ojflores and Fire to get their match started. It looks as though OJ is now inside because he is chatting. So it looks like he is ready to go. Hopefully we get it going here.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. If we don't get nothing started here shortly, it's gonna get skipped again. Let me give one more shot here. So I let them know one more time. This is it. If you can't get it, we're gonna skip it again, and then we're gonna go to the next battle. And it looks like they're up and running, and no, they're not.
Awesome.
Now it's back off. Cool. So we were so close to getting that battle right there. And then boom, it's done. Nobody wins, nobody loses. All right, so let's see. I did get a spectate button now, so let's see what happens. It looks as though we're in.
We're in, okay.
And there it is. We have a battle, ladies and gentlemen.
OJ with the first pick up against Fire here. So I'm curious to see what OJ's gonna bring now, because he's had some time to practice up and work. He's been preparing, and he's not the first time he's done this tournament game.
Exactly. He was in my Nat 4 and under tournament. I'm wondering what's going on here. He's taking a while to pick.
I mean, Bernard isn't a bad first pick if he was waiting. So we see Rocky and Verd. Very interesting first two from Fire over here.
Now,
very fitting with the name, though.
Now, yeah. Now, what I see is interesting from Fire's side is that it says being placed under his name. So could that be bad omen for him, because that means that he does not do RTA a lot, or she. So it looks as though OJ isn't here unless he's really taking this long to pick his units.
Yeah, let's see.
So we have Molong and Rakan. Let's see what happens. He had to have accepted the battle to enter into this.
Right. Reno, okay.
Let me see if I can contact him. See what's going on here. Because I'm worried right now that he is not at his... I think he might be AFT again. Away from tablet.
What? You know what? In chat right here, he says, I can't fight in the contest room. In the contest room here, yeah. Maybe his phone isn't responding to him trying to pick, because it is going down to 0 each time. It's just auto-picked his whole team.
Okay, so let's back out of that. And I will say that I see spectate on Fire's part, but I don't see spectate on OJ's part. So.
Oh, okay. So he probably DC'd then.
Yes, probably. But it's interesting because the battle symbol can't be pushed on OJ's part though. So we're gonna go ahead and skip that. Try to get it figured out. Warlock, what are you liking so far from this tournament as I try to figure this stuff out?
Well, what I'm liking so far is that we've seen a lot of crazy stuff. We've seen a couple matches, go all the way to game 3. I just think it's really fun seeing people work around this restriction. We're definitely seeing a lot of the really solid Nat 5s. We've seen the Molong, we've seen the Ganymede, of course. We've seen Bastet a couple times now. We've seen Praha. So a lot of the Nat 5s that are really relevant in the current RTA meta. But it's neat seeing them, in moderation. You're not seeing a full team of them. You're seeing different things brought to the table. We've definitely seen a lot of monsters. I mean, look at Driller. We've seen a lot of monsters that, and then with the match that Driller was able to win too, we were just seeing a lot of people kind of work around. They're thinking differently than they would normally in RTA. And what we're hoping is that it's able to give them more comps and stuff down the road in their minds that they can use.
Absolutely. So. It's looking as though we're having some issues right now. It seems as though everybody's symbol says battle. So I'm trying to figure this out right now. Let's see. So Fire and OJ. So now it looks as though OJ's battle button is back, but it still says spectating on Fire's part. So we're trying to figure this out. I hope you guys hang with us for a moment. Shameless plug as we wait. If you are not, if you are not following myself, which is jd_the_gamer86 on Twitch, go ahead and hit that follow button and turn on notifications. We do this type of stuff all the time. And also, go ahead and hit up TheWarlocke SW on Twitch. He streams Summoner's War all the time as well, along with he's starting up a new series on Twitch with, I believe it's called, you said Vainglory?
Vainglory, yeah, it's a mobile
okay.
Another mobile game,
Another mobile game. So it looks as though we're both streaming all the time, which is awesome. And then also another individual who was in our tournament, xWigglesx, he streams under the name of Daseni1, so DASENI, and then the number 1. He streams Summoner's War as well. So follow us all. We would really appreciate it. It would be an awesome thing to do. Yeah, we're a fun community that likes to have a lot of fun. Shameless plugs as we're trying to get this next match going. It looks as though they're both out of spectator mode, and we might finally have. It looks as though we might finally have a match here.
All right.
Let's see if OJ waits until down to 0. No, he does not. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an OJ and Fire match coming right now.
All right, here we go.
So it looks as though Fire is going with those same units. And funny enough, OJ picks pretty much the same team that it automatically picked for him, except for that Megan.
No Colleen this time.
Yes, exactly. And we have a Lapis. So it looks as though, unfortunately, with being placed under Fire's name, it looks as though he might, or she might, it looks as though Fire might be a little outmatched, maybe? Especially as you see an unawakened Lapis, so a water magic knight. What do you think about that? Do you think this is just messing with OJ's mind, or do you think Fire might be a little outmatched?
Just due to the fact that, yeah, 2 of the monsters Fire chose are unawakened, and then only Rocky was 6-star. The rest of them are 5 stars here. He's got all 5 stars going into this match. It does look like he may not be quite as far in the game, unfortunately here.
But we did not turn away whoever wanted to be a part of this tournament. You know, we went ahead and allowed everyone in, and then randomly picked who was fighting who. So just one of those things, you know, you want to be a part of the tournament, which is perfectly fine. I love it. We all love the community here. Just
Absolutely.
Might be a little outmatched right now. And we can see that now with the quick work OJ did. So we're going to jump into this second battle real quick. Maybe Fire has a little trick up his sleeve, up their sleeve. But we will see. We will see. Good luck to both. Good luck to both as we go into match 2. It looks as though Fire is going basically the same kind of route here. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's what I like to see with matches like this is it shows how wide of a variety of people we're reaching with putting on tournaments like this, and how many people are getting the interest in getting involved. Because not only can we give things for, you know, for high level players to watch and stuff, we can help these prepare these players who are earlier on in the game for what it's going to be like when they're playing competitively later. You know, if that's a platform that they want to get to. So it's just. Yeah, it's a very all-inclusive experience, and it allows everyone to be welcome and everyone to get a chance to come play and be on the stream, and I think it's really fun.
And very well said. And also, even for the higher level players or the players like OJ with these units, with the different restrictions on this tournament in each round, it makes you have to figure out different ways that you can still win. So even though when you go into a regular RTA match as you keep progressing in the game, maybe you might not have those OP units. You might not have Ganymede, Okeanos, Molong, blah, 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 blah. You know all the top ones. But now being in this tournament and seeing the different restrictions that you have per round, now maybe you have found a combo that might work with the lower end units because you did fight in this tournament. So I think this can be very beneficial for both the newer players and the more higher up players, to be able to learn different things.
Absolutely. Very well said indeed.
So it looks as though ojflores is going to move on, but we do want to say thank you and congratulations to Fire 81704 for putting up a heck of a fight. And we really appreciate you being in the tournament. ojflores is going to move on here to the second round, and it looks as though we have one more fight on deck here, and
All
then
right.
I believe we will only have 3 or 4 more matches left of the first round until we get out of the first round and we move into that second round.
All right.
So here we go. The last match of the night. We have DrunkDragon versus MrHangLimBu. So DrunkDragon, I know him, or at least I know him in game. I know this individual. They're in Epic Fail, which spawns from Childish Plays. A lot of good units here. MrHangLimBu came to me from YouTube, seeing the announcement video, and said, "Yo, I want to be a part of this tournament." And even has woken up in the middle of the night. Where he is right now, it is about 3:30 a.m.
Wow.
Or maybe even 4 a.m. at this point. So he said, "You know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna set an alarm, wake up, and destroy whoever I'm fighting." So you know what? I love the confidence. I love the effort. You gotta love people like that just want to be a part of this community, right, War?
Oh, absolutely. The spirit is what it's all about. You know, it makes it so much more fun to watch. It makes it so much more fun to be a part of, and it's, you know, it's just, it helps everyone feel. It just helps everyone feel good when people are fired up like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Drunk comes with the Raccoony, the Ragdoll Darien Huadam, and gets Beth banned. And MrHangLimBu comes with the Bernard Samath Yaku, which I'm actually a big fan of. Yaku can do some crazy damage if RNG is on your side.
Right.
And still has Lucian as well to do heavy damage. It just depends on, can you get it off before DrunkDragon can get his units all going. I think the X factor and the dark horse here is that Ragdoll. We don't know what that Ragdoll can do.
Right. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, he's someone we haven't seen at all. Another one of those crazy light, the light dark nat 5s we were probably expecting to see, especially in this first match. You know, you've only got so many nat 5s you can use. Why not use, the best ones you got?
Yep.
So, and that's why we're seeing units like Samath as well, I think.
Absolutely. He brings so much with his kit, with that speed lead, being able to reset or cool down at least. Big burst damage, can strip on his first skill. So absolutely, it all depends on this Yaku. How much damage can you do? It looks as though he got a couple of ignore defenses, but without an attack buff on Yaku, you're typically not going to get that much damage off. You really have to pair Yaku, especially being a nat 2, with an attack buffer. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that Yaku's he's very dependent upon RNG to do the damage, like you said, especially without the attack buff. He needs multiple procs. I think it's at a 25% chance. He needs multiple of those to proc, though, in order to get that damage off. And against monsters like this, the Huadam with the Darien there next to him, I think this is very, very, very well chosen on the side of DrunkDragon. I think he really picked. This is a solid team he's got going here.
Yes. And Yaku is one of those units that in Giants B10, he can either help you have your fastest time at like 25 seconds, or you're wiping at the mini boss because he didn't do anything for you.
Right.
So he is definitely one of those units that are strictly RNG based, but DrunkDragon is able to overwhelm MrHangLimBu for that first win. We're going to go straight into the second match. What is it that MrHangLimBu can do to push a match 3?
I think what he can do here is pretty much he can rely on DrunkDragon most likely taking a similar team and think of everything he's got in his box that can pose some sort of interruption to all of that attack bar boost from Ragdoll, followed by just the sheer tankiness of the Darien paired with Huadam. I think that he needs to bring some more. He looks like he goes with Rocky as an answer to that, with the same team from DrunkDragon too. I'm wondering,
exact same team in the same order too. Not even
yeah.
up.
Didn't change a thing.
Very blatant.
Yeah,
I feel like I can beat you with this team. I'm not changing nothing. So very in your face right now. Very in your face. What is that last pick gonna be here?
Ooh,
interesting. Wow. So if
Wow.
Ramagos can do what he can do and clean shot someone, that can change the game. But you know what? DrunkDragon says, no, I'm not even dealing with that. I would rather deal with your 2 Nat 5s rather than that 2-star. Ramagos right there.
But yeah, you know, when you've got those tanky monsters, someone like Ramagos, it could be just what is needed to, you know, to put him down.
Exactly. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. So it looks as though DrunkDragon is going with the crit rate leader skill. MrHangLimBu is deciding. I would imagine, yeah, you're going to go for that speed because your play here is to try to get that first turn. Maybe Beretta's on despair, so you're trying to trying to get a full stun. But if I remember right, I believe 2 of DrunkDragon's units are on wheel. 3 of them. So
3 of them, yeah.
That first move, I don't know if that's going to benefit you because Beretta can't do what he can do. And even if you stun Raccoon, he's going to cleanse himself anyway.
Right.
So you get the stun with despair, but you didn't reset the attack bar.
Yeah.
So there it is. It looks as though MrHangLimBu might be going up against a powerhouse here in DrunkDragon.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can see, wow, there's a heavy torrent from Ragdoll.
That is a heavy hit right there.
Mm-hmm.
And with that happening, that might be the end of that right there.
Wow, yeah, it's gonna take a lot on the side of MrHangLimBu here to pull something out of this. It seems as though DrunkDragon is going to be another one of our big heavyweights here.
Absolutely.
He's definitely, this is a comp. I mean, just myself looking at this comp, that is a solid comp right there that he's got, because there's the sustain from Raccoon, and you don't really want to specifically target anything in that comp. It's really tough to pick what you're going to focus down.
Exactly, and you almost are forced to focus on that Huadam because you can't kill anyone without him gone. But you know, and the crazy thing is DrunkDragon has this really strong comp, but only 1 Nat 5.
Yeah.
And 2 Nat 3s. So absolutely crazy turn of events right there. So we have our victors, we have our less fortunate ones. I'm not going to say losers, but less fortunate. So yeah, so let's take a look now at this bracket. So it looks as though Doom moves on to fight Ken XXY. It looks as though so let's go ahead and move this forward. So we have that. Shoezilla went ahead and moved on against KrisReina. xWigglesx moves on, so we'll be fighting Shoezilla. And Shoezilla looked very strong in that match against KrisReina. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see how that can turn out. ojflores moves on to the next round. You Feel Me X, me, and Cans are fighting tomorrow. So they're one of our team fights that are going down tomorrow. Also, the same thing up here. We're still waiting on confirmation on who to. If you're here for the first time, this person that was here in the tournament, unfortunately, due to some personal issues, he had to drop out of the tournament. So we are filling that role with someone else that will be announced tomorrow, and that person will be ready to fight tomorrow. So don't worry, that will be filled. Bryn Delicious, you will not get a free pass to the second round. You will have to fight your way through. So DrunkDragon moves on, and I honestly, from what I've seen, could be a heavy favorite in this.
Oh yeah. He's we've seen a couple matches with people that have some really strong, crazy units and comps, but DrunkDragon really coming out in that first round showed that that limitation did not hold him back at all from building a solid, very well sustained, and also heavy hitting team.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and then Shockster moved on, Shockster 435 in that round. So it looks as though we have 3 matches coming tomorrow, hopefully. That's the goal. We want to be done with the first round by tomorrow. So we'll have 3 matches coming tomorrow, and then the second round will be set and ready to go for the next rule set of no more than 3 attributes, which interesting enough, I didn't see, if I remember right, so far in this first round, I don't recall seeing too many teams that had 4 or even 5 attributes. So opening the Nat 5 door open, but limiting the attributes, we could see some people that kind of eked by that first round, really destroying that second round, because now they can use all the Nat 5s they want as long as they can get to 3 attributes, right? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that it's going to kind of be a similar but different situation, because yes, they will be able to use more than two Nat 5s, but depending, this depends on the luck and how many monsters people have. Once you get that element restriction in there, it doesn't play as much of a role in inhibiting a large quantity of your box. If you're someone who has a lot of Nat 5s, you're definitely going to be able to probably take advantage a little bit more of the second round restriction.
Exactly, absolutely. All right, so our schedule of matches have ended now. We had 6 fights, great matches. The second round is almost set. We have 3 more to go through tomorrow. I thank you to everyone that went ahead and followed during the stream. I hope you went over there as well, TheWarlocke SW, and followed him. Warlock, I believe you're streaming shortly after this as well.
Yeah, it won't be too long. It's going to be a little bit later tonight, but I will be throwing up another stream today.
Okay, so he'll be streaming later as well. Remember also Daseni1, DASENI.
Absolutely.
The 1. He's also a streamer as well. But yeah, we hope you guys all come back tomorrow night around the same time to round out this round 1 of the RTA tournament. We really appreciate you guys rocking with us right now. Any last words, Warlock?
Just thank you everyone for coming here. I'm so excited we had everyone here enjoying this with us. It exceeded my expectations. These matches have been so much fun. We've seen so many crazy things already. I'm really excited to go back and rewatch this, But no, I just thank you guys all so much. We're really grateful for the support, and we hope to see you in the next round, in the next matches.
Absolutely. And the thing, what the crazy thing is? We haven't even announced what the prizes are yet. So that is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We will have prizes for the first, second, and third place finishers. So fun times ahead. I really hope you guys come back tomorrow and join us for the final of that first round. 3 matches on deck. Again, let's just go through real quick. On deck, we're gonna have xWigglesx, me, and Cans, Bryn Delicious, and a new person, and then Nick the Kid KH versus D Saint 905. I hope you guys can come back tomorrow, join us. Appreciate you guys rocking with us, and we will see you tomorrow to round out this first round. Peace.
Thanks again, guys. Peace.